And good morning, Kenya. Gets to continue. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, the loss of a loved one is one of the hardest things that one can be able to navigate. And the worst part about it all is that everyone around you, their life usually just moves on. They say that one thing about life, it moves on. So today's conversation is more or less on the same. We're going to be talking about widowhood, and we're going to be looking at the unspoken battles of widowhood as we just try and touch on different aspects, from grief, identity, parenting, finances, society's perception, and the journey towards healing. That is what we'll be looking at today, and I'm more than pleased to be joined by Bishop Dr. Josephine Mungania of the Redeemed Gospel Church Saints Alive Center. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you this morning to tackle this it's a tough topic.
Yes.
If I may say so, it's quite a tough conversation, and it's a conversation that most times we don't get to have publicly.
Yes.
So just from your experience, because you are a widow, first of all, my condolences for that. So what does widowhood look like beyond what people see?
Yeah, I can say that for the last almost 8 years have been a widow. And it's not what the society sometimes does not know how deep it is for someone to be a widow, because you can be Mrs. in the morning, Mrs. so-and-so, and then in the afternoon you are a widow. Yes. So it also takes each person by surprise. And I can say that people think that because maybe the person was sick for a long time, there's no feeling, because maybe, that the person maybe may not have been good to you, it's okay, but it's never okay. With my experience is that I was married by a bishop, and whenever we arrived somewhere, he was taken very seriously and given a seat. But today, when I go to an occasion, it's like you have not appeared. Okay. People don't take it like you are someone. Somehow people lose contact of you. Oh. It's like you don't exist.
Yeah. So it's like your identity is literally stripped off because you were known as Mrs. So-and-so.
Yes.
So now that you are no longer Mrs. So-and-so, you feel like even the respect that people give you around the society changes?
Of course, it changes, and people also don't realize that they have changed, or they have changed about you. You had family, friends, you used to visit, you used to be together. But immediately you have lost your husband, they don't accept you. And I can say in my experience, I used to be in several forums of leadership. From the day my late husband went to be with the Lord, I just found like I was removed out of the WhatsApp group. You thought you still belong, and you go to open and it's like,
What do you mean?
Yes.
Wow.
So those things happen, and it's very hurting because people don't realize they are doing it, or they are hurting you. It just happens.
You're saying people don't realize they're doing it, but I mean they do realize they're doing it, because if I take your case in point, you mentioned that in several WhatsApp groups, you were actually removed from the WhatsApp group. So you can't say they don't know what they're doing, because they're literally just omitting you out of things that you are already part of. Maybe just from your own point of view, what brings about this?
I can say that the society does not understand. That's why I'm saying they don't know what they are doing. They may know how to remove you from the group, but the understanding of what they are doing, they don't have. Because there is the fear of the people. Like now I used to have, the way I've seen family, somebody's husband, we used to have family, friends. People start fearing you, that you have no husband. So there is a possibility of moving with someone's husband, of which, because of grief, there are some things even you don't even think. You are so vulnerable, and that is why it is very good for the society to realize that this person needs you more than when the husband was alive. Yeah.
And being that this is your reality, or this has been your reality since you lost your husband, and you're someone who is in the church, you are in the church, right? So you're still in the church. And the church is where most of us go to find solace. So I'm thinking of a widow who's not part of a community, a church community. If you went through that, and you are in that community, that's the church community, where we all believe that that is where you go to find peace, that is where you go to find your solace. So then what does that mean?
I actually pity those people who do not know Christ. Those people who are not in a certain community, because the church is the place where the way people come for comfort, people come to be, to be given the strength. But it's unfortunate that the church also has not come to understand that, because mostly during burial, people are usually with you. They tell you, oh, we are together. If you need someone, hey, you can call me. But let me tell you, after burial, the most sad thing, I realized that the next day when we buried my husband, I was only left with my family. And nobody came even to see how we slept. And also the cause, people stopped calling. Somehow they say they don't know what to tell you, but this is something that is very serious. Actually, I would say that we need not even money. Someone needs someone to speak to them, to talk to them about how they are going on from there. But mostly people hide. So I lost a lot of friends. Yes.
And just as you've pointed out, maybe some may say they don't really know what to say to you,
they say that.
How to behave around you, so maybe just for that purpose, how does support look like beyond the funeral? Because before you bury, there's support, people are always there, yes. But so how does that look like, or how does support look like, or should look like, how should it look like beyond now the funeral?
What I think, because after what I underwent, I think someone should be taken for counseling, because you are in a new venture. You don't know what to do. You have been left, maybe like someone was left maybe with young children. They don't know how to handle. The responsibilities now are two, because the husband is not there. And so I think the first thing someone should be sent is counseling, and to be spoken to. And just a call to know that someone is there. They may not speak much. Just say, I was just saying hello. And so I came to find out when I started now having strength and I started calling out, I could not even get answers. So I think the community should come, maybe cook for you just a meal quietly, even if you are not speaking. Someone to come and say, we just wanted to take you out. Yeah, there's one bishop who helped me very much, that he could come, find me in the house, take me just for a cup of tea. And that one would make me realize, sometimes I don't know whether I have eaten, sometimes I don't know whether I have worn well. It is a journey. So someone just to come and tell you, what are you feeling? Can we take you out? Can we take your children out and then you rest? Small things. They don't have to do a major thing, but just those tiny things. They matter a lot.
So for the community around, be it friends, family,
Yes.
all that is needed from
Yes.
someone who maybe has lost a spouse
Yeah.
is your presence. Just be there.
Just your presence.
Yeah.
She may not even speak. You may come and somebody is quiet, but just seeing you there, it brings some healing. Every day, there's some healing that is coming in your life.
All right.
Yes.
I want us to touch a bit on parenting and how that looks like after the loss of a spouse. And I'm trying to imagine if the children are of a younger age. How do you even go about now explaining this loss to them? And at the same time, remember, you're also grieving.
Yeah. It's a very hard thing, especially when a young widow is left. How to bring this, but what I want to say is that God comes first. The greatest comfort you can give to your children is to speak to them, let them know the truth, because there is a lot of denial, not only for the children, but also for the widow. So need to speak to the children, and also in that area, pray with the children, and let them see the reality that really dad is not there. As you continue speaking to them, and also they need counsel also. They need counsel from someone who is experienced in counseling of, about grief and all that, and then seeing the way forward. Because these children may not live the life they lived before the dad passed away. And now as a mother, you are left as a mother, as a father, as a provider, and also as an advisor to your children. So honestly, whether you like it or not, you have to be strong to be able to carry on with your children. Yeah.
And even aside from the emotional side of it, I can imagine the finances bit as well, maybe quite draining, because I mean, maybe you were used to, maybe the husband was the one who took up all the, all that responsibility, or maybe you were doing it together, so now it's just you.
It's just you. So it's really very hard for the young, if you are left with the children, it is very, that's where now the church should come in to see how they can help such a person, the community, how they can help, the relatives. But unfortunately, for the relatives, some think that you are the one actually who killed the husband. So it may not go very well, but there are some relatives who are very good, who stand up with the children of their brother, their sister, they do that. So it is important that thing to be taken seriously, especially in the community where you are. Because children, they are really, they don't know what happened. Their life was going on, they hand a car, and sometimes due to cultural we have our culture. There may be brothers who may take even the car, the property, and then they are left more poor than when the dad was alive.
And it's unfortunate that, this is a reality for many women. The fact that after the husband dies, then the relatives of the husband now take control of everything. And, as they say, even when they are taking this or taking that, they don't have in mind that, there's this woman who has children. These children need to keep going to school. These children need to maintain the lifestyle they were used to. So it's really unfortunate that that is a reality.
I had a case of a lady who lost her husband, and the children were in the primary school. And the money that was gotten from the husband's, place of work, the brother said that they will keep the money until they go to secondary. Then how will they reach secondary school if they have not done primary?
And how do they navigate their day-to-day? What are they eating? What are they...
Exactly. So it was a very sad thing, but by the grace of God, the lady was doing some business, and I would just ask every woman to do something. That's what I would like to ask every woman.
By doing something, what do you mean?
Some business, something to bring something on the table, because when things turn out like that, you may suffer emotionally, You know, now if you suffer emotionally, you are grieving, you have no finance, it makes now, that's a double, you know, it's a double thing. Yeah, tragedy, yeah, it's a double tragedy. Yeah.
Why do you think the emotional realities of widowhood are rarely talked about openly?
I think it's because of our culture. Our culture has also taken a woman, not, she's there, but there's much that is not there. As I've said, when I used to have my husband, when I go somewhere in an occasion, we don't even stop. We are taken direct to the front seat. But now when I enter as a woman, it's like nothing has happened. So there is the area of the woman, and the society says that she should understand. She should move on. How do you move on? You are still grieving. You don't know what to do. You know, it is there. So many people tell you be strong, but I'm telling you, it's not there. I need someone to take me through, speak to me, because healing is not a one-day agenda. It goes slowly by slowly. Today you can talk about him. There's things you could not talk about it, but as you continue with the years, now you can talk freely. So it is good to let someone to heal, you know, slowly, and not to tell them it's okay. It's not okay. I've lost. You are telling me you understand. You don't understand. You haven't lost. So that area is very, it needs to be taken care of very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, even from what you mentioned, you know, whereby people expect you to just move on. And you know, sometimes people put timelines to someone's grief, you know, and you expect, it's been a year, come on, can you just move on? But I would like for you to speak on that, and the fact that people grieve differently.
Exactly.
You know?
It's very different. I just give my example of myself. After we buried my husband, like on a Friday, on Saturday, because I'm a prayer person, the Lord just told me that I wanted to stay 3 months not doing anything in the church. But through the advice of God, he told me, if you stay 3 months, when you come back to church, there will be nobody. Remember, this man was a comfort to someone. He was paying school fees to someone. He was a mentor to someone. So if you don't go back to church, in 3 months, people will look for other mentors. They will look for other people to continue their life. And true enough, after 3 months, someone came and told me, Mommy, thanks for staying. I was looking for another pastor where I could be comforted. But when I saw you in a doubt, I never saw you missing church, I decided if you can bear it, I can also bear it. So this area is we are very different. So me, I continued. But there's someone with who has been left, who was the husband, you know, was working. This woman was left with the children. This woman was, you know, a housewife. To cope up could not have taken like mine, because my children were already grown up. So I didn't have anybody to take care of, but take care of myself and also speak to the grown-ups. They are grown-ups. So that is very different depending on where you are left. There's someone who's saying that during the funeral, the lady was crying, and people thought she was crying because the husband is dead. But she was crying because now, who will pay the mortgage? You know, we cry differently, we mourn differently. So we should understand where this somebody is coming from. Yeah.
So sometimes you don't just lose the person. Yes, you've lost the person, but you've also lost so many things that come with this person.
Exactly, like identity. Like now when I say identity, that wherever we went, we were great people. Now he's gone. I'm not a great person. I'm no longer great because the greatness that made me be great is not there. So that is how it comes from. I've been removed from seats. I sit somewhere and I'm told, no, here, this is for couples. Single people are not sitting here.
My goodness.
So imagine how you feel. And the person who is removing you is someone you have reared, someone you have mentored. But now, since my husband is not there, I'm not taken as a person. So these are things that happen, and especially also for the families. There are ladies, when they lose their husbands, the homes where they were, they were married to, the people want to come out, they remove them from there. So it's a very sad story that many have faced, and they are still mourning, so they have not healed. So this is another thing that is, an injury over whatever is going on. Yeah,
I can imagine what that does to one's mental health. So now the part of mental wellness comes in, because as you're saying, you're already grieving. This is a loss. You're mourning, and then at the same time, you're being sidelined by people who you were part of, by people who you least expected. So I can just imagine what that does to one's, mental wellness.
Yeah, so we have had ladies I know who have gone into depression. Yeah, because they didn't find help from anywhere. And when they looked, they saw as though life has come to an end. But thank God, for those who know God, they know that God has a new beginning. God can give you a new beginning. It may not be like the former one, but God can give you comfort. He is the God of all strength. But I know a lady who is now, I'm talking over 12 years, the husband passed away in 2014. Now she's depressed. She doesn't leave the house. And when you try we try to talk to her, it hasn't, she's still not okay. So I think immediately after burial, now people should take responsibility of, coming in and helping such people out.
Yeah, because I can imagine 12 years later.
Yes, she's still not okay. Yeah. She's still not okay. So it depends how people behave to you after the burial. Before burial, people are very good. They even give a lot of money. They even, during the person was sick, they never came to see the person. And also after the burial, they also speak evil things. Because like my late husband had prostate cancer, and then it progressed to the chest. It progressed even to be mental. And when he passed away, someone commented that we are not sure of what disease killed him. Now, because he had lost weight, so they said he was HIV positive. So they started watching me to see how, I think I should be dead by now from that time, the way the people are talking. But it's so sad, you are grieving, people are talking negative about you. So immediately after death, I think people should come in literally to comfort and literally to help you come out of it.
Yeah. And when I began, there's something I mentioned, that there's one thing about life, which sometimes is the unfortunate bit of life, that it moves on. Yeah. So you're in that space, or I can call it like a cocoon of darkness, of sadness because of a loss. But now maybe your best friend, their life moves on. So
life moves on.
So where do we draw that line between, I need to check up on you, I need to ensure that you're fine, but I also have my life that is continuing, and
That's where now it comes about you. Because people's lives continue. Yeah. That's now you come and sit yourself down, have a meeting with yourself, because mostly people, if you are working, some people, they are not able to continue to work.
Yeah.
You need to come and think, you know what? I'm not going to, my movement is not the people's movement. I have to continue maybe educating my children. I have to continue taking care of my health. I have to continue having social gatherings. I have to continue, you know, in life. So despite mourning, despite grieving, you have to love yourself. Remember, you are there.
Yeah.
You are alive. And since you are alive, you have to continue with life.
So self-compassion.
Exactly. And self-love. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very important.
And sometimes it's easier said than done, because
you have to strengthen yourself,
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Like myself, I used to console myself in prayers. I would pray, and I feel a bit of little strength. The business, of course, it could not go at the level it was going on. But remember, you have to move on. Yeah.
what would you say is the role of faith and spirituality in all of this?
Exactly. Because without God, there's nothing much you can do. You cannot give yourself strength. You need strength from God. And you need comfort from God. So I can say that it's important you think of yourself. Even the Bible says, love yourself as you love others.
Yeah.
And also, because you have been left does not mean that is the end of you. You have to continue with life. He has gone ahead of you. Also, you go. So just think that I'm left behind, but I will still follow. But life has to continue.
Yeah.
Yes.
So try as much as you can to just
Try
give
the
yourself
best you
that,
can. Try the
that
best you
strength.
can. Yes.
Because everyone else's life
Everybody
is moving on. Yeah.
Yes.
And you can't really blame everyone for not being there sometimes.
You know,
because
death is unavoidable.
Yeah.
And it is natural. When you think of it like that, then you start, since it has happened, I have to continue moving on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, for those who are ready to remarry and, you know, get back to dating and looking to remarry again, should this be an issue or a problem? Because, I mean, you hear of conversations where a woman was widowed maybe 10 years later, or 5, or 3, or 2, depends, and they are thinking of maybe getting remarried, and now it becomes a problem. So should this be an issue, or what would be your take on that?
You see, what happens to the community when you lose your husband, they think they are the husband. So they say, why should you get married? We are here. And also they want to make decisions for you. This is a personal decision. And I would say that when we read in the Bible, Ruth was remarried. When we read about Hannah, she was married 7 years. And then she stayed for, she was 84 years as we were reading the Bible. She didn't get remarried. So it all depends on the person, but also knowing that the market is tricky. The market, when you when you are dating, okay, like my son was dating in the 70s. Now is in the 21st century. Things are different. So you should know the ground is not the former ground.
It's different.
So as you do it, know whether it will affect the children, whether it will affect you. You know, those are the things you have. And also the intention of the person who wants to marry you. Why do they want to marry you? You know, all those things, you have to think of them. But it's good. It is allowed.
It should not be a problem.
No, it's not a problem, but it's a problem to the society.
And you know, with that, would you say that widows are treated differently compared to widowers, especially in that context?
In my church, I was telling them that when my husband passed away after 2 years, I told them, I'm surprised. If it was my husband who lost me, you could have already looked for a wife for him. But I've been waiting for you to look for a husband for me. And you
it's not forthcoming.
And it is not forthcoming. So when a widower, people will even help him to get a wife. But you as a widow, you need to you need to stay like that. You are a woman. So those are the differences. But always men, people tend to go on the side of men, but But I encourage women, if you are ready to get married, get married.
Yeah.
If you are not, only check the market. The market is tricky.
I like that you are concurring with most young people. Wanasema, if I can just quote, wanasema soko ni chafu.
Sure. Actually, nowadays, I pray for the young people very much. Because during our time, and someone will tell you, I love you. Like now, the only thing I looked is that, are you saved? Do you love the Lord? That's all. I never looked whether you understood oil and no house. We are together, we are good. But today, but I'm really praying for the young people.
I think that is a conversation that we can plan on having soon on the show. You know, as we come to a conclusion of this conversation, what would you say hope looks like after such profound loss?
I can say that one thing I have learned is that your decision matters, whether you continue or you not continue, because that hope, although I have lost, I have hope that I can continue. So that hope makes me continue with my daily work. I'm not stopping doing what I do every day. I'm not stopping social gatherings, which we fear so much. You know, widows fear social gatherings. You should not fear. Be with the people. If you are in a church, you are serving, continue serving. If you are working with your children, continue working with your children. So the life should continue as you do the daily things. Then hope comes. There's no hope that is lost. There is hope, even when you have lost. Yes.
So for a young lady who's watching us right now, and maybe they are recently widowed, that would be your word for them, or what more would you tell them?
Yes, because God created each one of us as an individual. And even though you have lost, as an individual, God is working something good for you. And your future, He says, in Jeremiah 29, verse 11, that the plans I have for you are not for evil, but for good, to bring, a good future. So, though you have lost, God can make a good future for you.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Bishop Dr. Josephine, for joining us and for opening up and for speaking on your experience on matters widowhood. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
All right, this is where we wrap this conversation. I can see my colleagues are on standby. That is Mike and Victor. And I'm sure you've been following the conversation, and it is one conversation that is quite heavy. It is quite heavy most times. And there's one thing that Bishop has mentioned, that when it comes to the widows and the widowers are treated very differently. And especially when it comes to the question of remarrying. I don't know if you guys agree with that as gentlemen. Victor?
It's a deep conversation, and I'd pick this one from the societal aspect. There is a way society treats widows and widowers differently. And the strength of, plainly put, the strength of a man after the loss of a spouse is so different from the strength of a woman after the loss of a spouse.